Alright guys, big thank you from Dubstart. So this tutorial, we want to design this Razor agent login form. Where is it for the screen now? So basically, I grabbed this design from dribble.com and the guys were run on our D Studio. So I go leave link to this particular page for the description of this video so that you still check them out. But exactly what today and now they try one to replicate. Although all these illustrated graphics where it is for the screen here, I'm not gonna put them. At the end of the day, now to go do with this. The reason why I'm not gonna put them because I try to find, but I not see the place where I see to take download free. There's something I call login. I like my register account then put my card details first. I see these guys they want run me street, so I just lock up. But anyhow, another thing is if you see this video and you know where I go fit to get free graphics like this, I go appreciate if you drop comments for the this video and just let me know so that in case of future purposes I go fit actually grab something and make the tutorial more interesting. But I just want to let's the major form, which is this stuff now we'll try one tackle at the end of the day for this particular video. So more not talk too much. What we will use here just HTML and CSS. Although I use SCSS to write the whole code or the whole CSS codes. So if you don't know SCSS, I already create SCSS tutorial. So I go advise you to watch them first so that you can understand what would they do here. And I'll drop the link to the SCSS tutorial for the description of this video so that it's easy for you to access them quickly. So if you see my code editor here, which is VS Code, basically I get just the HTML starter markup, just my head, body, and the title. So if you look at the title here, now they use fonts from Google API, that is Google Fonts, and I use pop-ins. So I select them from this site, then I use CSS reset tool from Eric Meyer to reset my browser default style so that we start on a very clean slate. All right, so for my main.scss, I already write some small codes. The first things what I do, I just declare some variables like the colors what we go use for this design, then the font. See, I'm here, snap pop-ins are right here. Then for my body, I set the font family to pop-ins and the background color now to this light. I don't know the color self, but I have to say white, like a very bright, different variation of white color. You get then just some small markup. Some small CSS code. You see the markup just when I write them. But anyway, I'm going to just jump into the tutorial and I'm going to start to do our stuff. And also, I get some images here, which is this arrow.svg, the globe logo from Apple, Facebook, and Google as well, where we go use for this our tutorial, just to like just to account for these icons where you see for this side of the tutorial. Okay, so more jump inside. To compile my SCSS, I use the default compiler where they come with not really come with the Visual Studio Code. You install them. So if you just go to their marketplace, go type SCSS to install them. If you follow that my SCSS tutorial, I'd already show you how to install this into. So you're not supposed to get stressed for SCSS after you finish that video. So I just click on wash SAS here so that I can start to wash all our SCSS code and it go to translate them to our normal CSS. And the moment I click and see and say it already start to translate this, compile this body now to SCSS and it applied the effect here already for us. So now the first thing we will do here, we will start to work from. I just cancel this here so that I know they click on every time. We'll start and mind you, this whole tutorial, by the time we finish now, the whole source code and everything, I'll drop the link where you take grab the source code so that at least if you want view them or whatever you want to do with if you just carry along. So to start our tutorial proper, I'll come to the body, and the first thing I will do here, I'll create a header. And this header tag now will get two classes, block and header. So inside this header, we'll create a wrapper, and this wrapper will get row and two columns. So 2 columns. All right. So what I do here is say this very first column here, now I'm going to account for the logo. Why this other column? Now we will take get these links here for the sign up, the request demo, and this word icon here. So to separate these two, inside this column, I will just add in another class. I'll call them logo. So the logo will get our first element here, which is an h1 or h1 or an h1 or h. In fact, I don't know the right, which is h1 element. Then I just like to play most times. Like we get anchor tag, and the anchor tag go type razor. Then underneath this anchor tag, underneath this h1, we'll put another anchor tag and we'll give them sales link. So this other anchor tag now go be this our mail word here plus this. So basically be like button, right? But whatever that is. So we'll get two items there. Now the first one will be spanner to wrap the sales at razor.uk, while the next one will be the SVG icon. So I'll come here, grab my icon, and I'll paste. Nope. Can you imagine? I believe I'm like that. I'll cancel this out. Okay, we'll see. All right, not fine in any way, but we'll make a fine just now. So to style this thing, make it exactly like this. What I will do here, inside this block, we'll target the header. So for this header, we'll go target row, and underneath the row, we'll get a column. Then the column inside will get logo of the target. So for the row, we'll set display to flex. Then we'll justify content to space between, because we need to space every columns now, add space between the two columns for inside the header, which is this first column for the logo, and this other columns all contain those our request demo buttons and the other buttons and items already there. So for here now we'll call add gap. So the gap now will give them 60 pixel, right? We're not really needing them, but most likely we need to add a gap just in case we want something responsive, or though we're not going to do responsive yet, but just go to practice to put a gap there. So now inside the column for this our logo, or inside the logo for inside this our column, we'll target the H1, which is this particular H1. Then we'll set our font size to We'll set our font size to 30 pixel, and the font weight will be 600. Sorry, font weight will be 800, while we'll set margin bottom to 28 pixels. Let's see. All right. So now we'll target anchor tag. So the first thing we'll do here for the anchor tag, we'll set display to be block, then we'll text transform, capitalize. Make I remove this vibration. Right. Text transform to capitalize, then text decoration to none, so that we'll remove that underline where this place. All right, so we'll already get the color stuff. Then we'll set color to dark 00. Make sure to put the dollar so that we call the variable properly. Okay. So that they resemble small. All right. So now, without target this anchor tag, and what would they do here? We say this anchor tag will target now. They affect this other anchor tag here as well. But based on the styles we're going to affect this one, they a little bit different now. We're going to need to target this CSS class so that every single style what would they give this CSS class like they unique to just this particular anchor tag, and you're not going to affect the anchor tag where they inside this each one here. So to do that, I'll come down, then I'll target sales link. So the sales link, we'll set padding top to 14 pixel. Then we'll set border top to 1 pixel solid dark 01. So the second version of our dark color. And we'll observe, we'll get something like this. So now we'll set display to flex so that it will pair the span and the SVG side by side, right? Okay. Then align items to center and gap to 28 pixel. We'll set the font size to 15 pixel. So currently, we don't get something like this, but we'll not see our SVG. Why? Because we need to target the SVG and we'll set height, then it will come out here. So inside this sales link, we'll target the SVG. We'll set the height to 16 pixel and the stroke width just to make the SVG a little bit thicker. And that's the reason why you will most likely want use the SVG syntax like this. Although if you use image, the image tag, then we call the SVG. But if we do it like that, it will show, and we'll even do it like that for later part of the tutorial. But you know get that that room to actually alter some things for the SVG here, like the stroke width, the fill color, and the rest. So good for you to get that at the back of your mind. All right. So now we'll get sales at razor.uk, and it's looking very similar to what we'll get here. Although VC has some light tweaks just in case, but for now, just I will take the gauges now, so at least we try. So now more work with more target these guys here, which is sign up and a request demo, right? Sign up and a request demo. So the next thing we will do here inside this column, we'll just create a little bit different from how I first do it. I just now if I do the same say it would be better for me to do one like this, because what I do originally, I just come here then I target I create a new div called guest menu, then I start to mark up, but you get a situation where you want to do them like this, but for now I will just put some here side by side with this column and I'll carry on with it I do. So just like the way I do logo here now, I do another one here, they call them guest menu, which is another class, and inside this guest menu class we go get an anchor tag. So the anchor tag will give them a class of btn for button, and another class will be icon by the side of the button. So what did happen here be say we will mark up these buttons, then this other icon where there go be like a variation of that particular btn you get. So different buttons will get different styles, because if you look the design here, you get this button now will get this orange background, this other button here now empty, this one is just single icon. Then if you look inside there, yes, just underneath here all this social link sign up, another different style of button again where like not even get background color at all. So we will give different options now to this class where we can mark up different type of buttons we need. But for now, we get this button icon. Then inside the button icon now, we will just add the globe. So copy them, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to paste. Okay. I'll collapse this logo. Then underneath, we'll target our guest menu. Then we'll set display to flex, align items to center, then gap to 28 pixel. So what I do here now, they give this our guest menu a display of flex so that it go align all of them for the same line. Then I align the items to center so that I go center them horizontally. Then they give gap of 28 pixels so that space go there between each item here. So this space and this space, they go come out. So you're not going to see them yet because we never really add those stuffs, and this SVG itself will never give them markup yet. So we'll never give them style yet. So I might just add the other stuff quickly, may you see. So the next one I'll go add another anchor tag. Then this anchor tag will just give them a class of btn, which is the most basic button. Type sign up or duplicate. The next one will be requests demo. All right. So after this button, I will type primary here as another option of this our button class. So this primary now will be the button where gets this orange background, while the single one where just be button go be any button where not get background at all, just a text. While the one will be icon go just be button where be like say get only icon for inside. So you see different variations where be like I create now. So before I move further, what I go do, I'll go mark up this, I go style these buttons separately. So just after, or before we even get this block safe now, just here, I'll come in, I'll target button, which is btn. Then inside the button, I will give display and set to block. Then text decoration could be none. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Text decoration could be none. Then we'll set the color to dark 00. Font size 17 pixel. And our font weight could be 600. While text transform could be capitalize. We'll set border to none. And cursor could be pointer. So when you hover on the button, I could bring out that hand symbol to let the user know, okay, this stuff they clickable. All right. So most of together, we get this stuff now. And for some reason, our guest menu display flex, now they align these things together. We'll see. Okay, so see the issue here. Would they call these stuffs here now, but we're not actually the reference them properly, or we're not the call them properly. So we need to add this and here so that it goes to say this guest menu and a class of column where the side by side with the column are not just a child. You get, and we'll get something like this. So now we'll go target the one where it just be icon. Then inside this icon, I will set margin right. Margin right will be 16 pixel. Then we'll target the SVG and we'll set height to 32 pixel. And our stroke width could be 0.6 pixel. Right, we'll see. Okay. So we are getting there gradually. Increase this thing. Oh, I first I will increase the browser sensor for. So that means this thing not good out they would show clearly for owner. Alright, so I hope they're clear enough currently. If we increase the stroke width to like 0.8 first, we'll say. Just to make them dim bit thicker. Yeah, I like it like this. Okay, so next thing we go target this primary, right? We'll target this primary because basically this sign up it already takes shape now. So we'll target the primary. I don't want to see now say where shall now the font will be like so we'll get it not to resemble, but it they do the work. So we'll target the primary and we will style. So this primary will set the background color to light 02, which is the orange color. Yeah, orange color. Then we'll set padding to 16 pixel top and bottom, while the left and the right will be 26 pixel. Then our border radius could be 9 pixel to give that rounded edge. Okay, so if you see, I'm now we'll get the request demo here. And one thing, take notes, it's not going to be exactly accurate. Why? Because we just use IT to gauge these things, right? If they follow your designer Figma file, definitely you will see some of all these values where they specify, and you go actually know the right thing to do at that point in time. But for now, we just try to make sure, say, okay, we'll get as close as possible to the design. We're just gauging some of these things to our high. They get so I've even like take this one down to like 24 pixel. We get just to bring them, no, not the left and the right. Main the top and the bottom to 14 pixel. Just to reduce this thing a bit. And I think I like the way I see them now. So the next thing we'll do, before we go further, we'll target or we'll create this other style of button where they display here. So to do this style of button, I'll just come down, I'll create another, I'll duplicate this request demo. Then inside, I'll just type Google. So this one will be primary alternates. So primary alt. That could be class for buttons where not get background color, but they get this border around them. So I'll type Google, and this one gets icon inside as well. So what we'll do, we'll use image tag, then we'll target image/logo.google.svg. Because I'm not going to really do any tweaking to the Google SVG codes. So it's just the sensible to use image tag as they call this particular logo out. All right, so now we get something like this, and it's not looking good at all. So it's what we'll do. Inside this primary now, so we'll get primary alt. Mind if you don't see my SCSS tutorial, you can understand what I want to hear. So I advise you watch that tutorial first before you start some of all these other things while you do, so that you know they lost. But even though say they lost, we'll go find you. Because no let person lost for our tutorials. And also ask questions. I'll go answer you. If I don't answer you, join my Discord server, ask questions there. Guys, they'll be like, say, they're going to answer you as well. If I get the time, and most likely I'll get the time, I'll try to answer you. I'll go leave a link to that Discord server for inside the description of this video so that you go easily assess where to lay your complaints. So the target is alt now, right? So the target is alt, and what we'll do here, we'll set display to flex, because we need to set the text, which is this Google and this image now side by side. So display to flex, align items to center, and gap to 8 pixel. So we'll save. Okay. My first reduce the image. So the image, will set the height to 28 pixel. Then we'll get something like this. So now we'll set the padding, because I want to tweak the padding a little bit. We'll set the padding to 12 pixel for the top and the bottom, while the left and the right will be 26 pixel. All right. Then we'll set background color to transparent, and our border could be 2 pixels solid light 00. Okay, correct. The reason why you know this cyan, because the border color they use now, now the same color as this background, so it's just a blending. I mean, you know the cyan currently, But by the time we do the use for this our white background, and you start to see the effect. So quickly to just make you see what I try to talk now, just comment this thing out and show you the same. It come out. So do if you just do in such a way that if you hover, it could just fill the color now with the whole of the same border color. And to do something like that, where am I again? Just after this image, we go hover and we set background color to light 00, right? And we'll just set font weight here to 700, then add little transition effects. So the transition could be 250 milliseconds. So by the time you hover now, the time we're going to take to change from transparent to this color now could be 250 milliseconds. And get something like this and say it's looking really good. Okay. All right. So now what would I design this stuff? All we need to do whenever we want to create these buttons, now just for us to like call the class and automatically now would already add the markup and create our buttons for us. So I just remove this Google here because not the original, not the part of the original design. So I'm going to remove them out and we'll not get this stuff. Oh, I'm going to, this is our background color back. And we have this. So it's looking really close, although this one calmed down very well. So if we just use inspect elements, they tweak them. Let's see. So H1 margin bottom to like 18 pixel. Very hyper, so also like 22 pixel. All right, 22 pixel, good. So we'll go back to the H1 here, then we'll change this to 22 pixel. All right. Okay, so now we're not through with this part of the tutorial, and the next thing we'll enter now, we'll enter the measure form itself. So we'll start to mark up that one now. So for the measure form, what we'll go do, we'll create a section, then we'll give them a class. The class name will be block. Two classes actually, block and login. Since now the login form here will enter, so then inside now we'll get our wrapper, row, and a colon or column. Did I pronounce it wrongly? Column. All right. So inside this column, we'll create a class by the side here. We'll call them form card. Then for the form card here, we'll get H1. So this H1 are going to be the title. Then the content underneath will be paragraph, which is the copy. Then here will be the form properly, which is from this input down to the sign in. Then we will use span, circle this text where they are usually or sign in with. Then we'll create a div where we'll house all these buttons now to log in using any of these social platforms. Then an anchor tag for this item underneath. So more just create the markup first before we start to style anything. All right, so the first thing here inside the form card now will be the title. So h1 dot form card title and agent login. All right. Underneath, we'll get the paragraph. So the paragraph will be form card underscore copy, which is form card copy. So we'll just type, hey, enter your details to get sign in. We'll go to our break tag to break the text down to your account. So when we come down, we'll we'll mark up the form. So inside this form, we'll get a div, which is a form group. Then inside this form group now, we'll add our first input. So this first input will be email. So type email and placeholder, enter email or phone number. So that means it'll be text. So now you can manipulate it for backend. Enter email or phone number. So we'll come down, I'll just duplicate this form group. And mind you, we'll not put label here, but you most likely gonna need label. It depends on what you try to do. So form group, this one will be password. Then the placeholder for the password will be passcode. Passcode. All right, so underneath this input now, we will create a span. So this span now will be this hide for here, this hide button. We're not going to do any JavaScript effects for inside because normally with this is Mozilla, just at least if you browse it, they come across this eye where they show hide and show like that. So when you click it will reveal the password for you, and when you click, it will hide them. Just the toggle between reveal and hiding the password. They'll be like, say you enter for inside the input field. So we'll try this on this other thing where they are not going to be so that we're not going to do one, we'll just leave them a bit. But in case you plan to do one, go ahead. Anything where like, so they do, they put this hide here. If you do the same thing here, and that's why you need to do your span, then give a border radius to get a circular shape and just throw it there. You get what? It depends. I don't know if the designer gets for mind where I create this thing. So if you not be saying with this thing, do I talk and I say go be a hair, but anyhow, you get the gist. So underneath this input, we'll create a span. So this span I'll call action. Then we'll just type hide. All right. So after this form group, we'll create an anchor tag. And this anchor tag now, we'll type having trouble signing in. Having trouble in signing. Oh, having trouble in signing. All right. Having trouble in signing, question mark. Then underneath this anchor tag, we'll create a button. So this button will be type submit. And our class will be btn primary. Then inside we'll just type sign in. All right. So save, and most it will get so far. Refresh this. Okay. Oh, a wrapper supposed to be arrow here. Not making no centralize. All right. So we'll not get the basic markup here, and before we go further, let's see again. Oh, you know what? We'll just mark up everything. So after the sign in button, or after the form rather, We'll come down just after the form, then we'll type span dot form card optional tag. So form card underscore optional tag, and inside we'll type or sign in with. Then after we type this one, we'll come down, we'll create a div. So this div now group all the social buttons. So this div will be form card social sign up. All right. So inside the social sign up now we'll get 3 buttons. The first button between primary out. So if you notice what I do here now, I call the btn class. Now if you look at this whole style in here now, we call the btn to get the styles from this one. Then we target the primary, we call them to get the styles for here. Then the alternate to get all the other styles from here as well. Now we call the 3 here now. So you see, so btn primary and the primary alternate. So inside this primary alternate now, what we want to add? We want to create an image. Then we target the image and we call in Google, which is the first button there. And underneath the image, I'll type Google. So let's see what we did so far. And so far, we'll get this. All right, correct. It work well. We'll never add background image to, sorry, we'll never add background color to the form itself. So you're not going to see this thing yet. But since as I hover, you see the effect, they come out small. So I could duplicate this anchor tag 3 times. And the second one will be Apple ID. And the logo here will be Apple, logo Apple. While the last one will be logo Facebook. And I'll change Google to Facebook. Okay. So after this div, the last thing we'll do inside our form box now will be an anchor tag and a paragraph. So the paragraph now just say p dot create account. So inside this account, this create account now, we'll go add this text now. Don't have an account, then we'll go wrap request now inside anchor tag. So don't have an account, then we'll create an anchor tag. We'll go wrap the anchor tag. Sorry, we'll go add a text now to inside the anchor tag now, which is requests now. All right. So our markup done set. So now for us to style and make it resemble it, we'll get here. All right, so back to my CSS file or my SCSS file. Just after this header, because get the header inside the block or side by side of the block. So just after the header now, we'll target login. So come down a bit, type and login. Then we'll target the form card inside this login now, which is this form card. Form card. We'll set the background color to white and max width could be 600 pixel. Then we'll set margin to 0 auto, so that I will shift the form now from the left hand side ready for the screen down to the middle. Refresh and see what we'll get currently now. So the next thing we'll do, after the margin, I will set a padding of 56 pixel. Then we'll set box size into border box so that the padding will be like so we add now. I know go add extra size now to our form card dimensions. So that means all the padding are going to be inside the dimension will be set for this particular form card. So now we'll text align to center and we'll set border radius to 26 pixel and we would need a box shadow, I think. Yeah, we're going to box shadow, but that box shadow we'll add them later because I want to tweak them from the inspect elements here to get the right settings, which is fine for my eye. All right, so now we don't get the base of what we want to do. Next thing, what we need to target now, the title for inside this form card. So I'll break down here and we'll target title. So remember, with the write them like this, why? Because we don't already create this form card here. So the thing just the inherit the parent's class name here, adds to your own. You see. So reference on my SCSS tutorial and you go understand some of all these things here. Very, very important. So now inside this title, I will set text transform to capitalize and the font size will be 32 pixel. 32 pixel, while the font weight will be 700. 700. And the last thing, we'll set margin button to 26 pixel. Okay. Then now we'll target Mario duplicate, we'll target the copy. So inside the copy now, font size will be 20 pixel. Then font weight will be 500. Y will set a line height of 28 pixel. And our margin button will be 40 pixel. Okay. Let's see. This one they capitalize. Hey, enter your details. I'll just make a capital here. All right. So now the next thing we need to do we need to target the form, which is this. So just after, okay, inside form card, just below this copy, we'll target form. Then we'll set margin bottom to 40 pixel. We'll break down, we'll target the form group. We'll just target the inputs. And we'll target the action. So the targets one. Okay, we'll target inputs. We'll target this action. All inside this form group. So if we put them inside or since they're inside the form, you obviously leave them outside. It depends on what you need to share. It depends on how you want them. But go work like this. Then we'll target anchor tag and this btn. All right, might just put all of them beneath each other. We'll target the anchor tag, which is this anchor tag. I advise most times if you do this, we'll put on the put aside class because you never can tell. Another anchor tag fit is somewhere and your styles now going to override them. So it could be better for you to just put on a class now so that it could be unique to itself. You get? So after the anchor tag, we'll target button. All right. So now for the form group, first we'll do set position to relative, then margin bottom to 14 pixels. The reason why we set this position relative now because this hide button where they are now, so this hide text where they or something, if it be button, but definitely in JavaScript now, if you click any element, so it depends on how you want to do it. Right? So one or two ponder on that one now. So I give that position relative for the form group because this hide where they I'll give a position absolute. So I don't want to make this item that could fly out of this whole area. So it could be within its parent. I make I set the parent now, which is the form group now as position relative. So if we come down to inputs quickly, we'll set the width to 100%. The width to 100%. Then our padding will be 14 pixel, 18 pixel. So 14 pixel top and bottom, 18 pixel left and right. And box sizing to border box so that the input field now go be within the form group. Because if you inspect these elements now, if you not do one like that, then I go jump come outside. So the input now, if I take out the box sizing, see and say the jump out because of this padding where they here. You see? So when you say box sizing, I go make sure say okay, this padding where you add now, it not go affect the original dimension of this input now to call it make it break out from its parent. You get? So that's for that. So after I set the box size, next we'll set on a border radius. So border radius could be 6 pixel, while the border was on the 2 pixel solid light. I want to say light white. Yeah, this is a light white day. So sorry. We'll set fonts family. So Poppins. And our font size will be 16 pixel. While the outline will be none. So that by the time that input will be active now, we know they get that default black border where they always come up for these forms. Right? So get this and it doesn't take shape small. So next I want to do a more target the placeholder. So if you do some kind of small styling, because if you look the placeholder here now, some things they capitalized and it did a bit thick. That means the font weight now they bold a bit. So inside this input now, we'll just come down and we'll target placeholder. We'll set the font weight to 500 and text transform will be capitalized, while the opacity could be 0.85. So now if we review our changes, we'll get something like this. And I like the way this thing look currently. So now for this action, which is this hide now, we need to push and come this area of this particular password field. So to do that, what we'll do, underneath this action, we'll target, we'll type position, we'll set them to absolute. You see, it does jump come here. So we need to push and come this side. That's my company specs this thing. Most times at the work, I dey like um use inspect elements. Very, very amazing tool. I like using inspect elements so that I will just mark up I'll just style a particular item. When I style and finish now, I just want me to grab the code and then I send them, go inside my text editor. When I know say, hey, it don't find reach my eye. So set position absolute. The next thing now, text transform. Will be capitalized and we say may right be 0. So if right be 0 now, I see I say the enter inside, but we need to push them out now. So we increase them out to like 20 pixel. Then to make sure say the thing dey exactly the middle here, we'll not just say me top be a value we'll just push down, call it IT gauge. We need to make sure say irrespective of the dimension of this input feed, this thing will remain for the center. So number 4 is easy to do one, but what I could do, top I'll set down to 50%, then I'll do transform, and we'll translate 0 minus 50%. So you can make sure say the middle. So I just copy this code, paste on for my text editor, my code editor. And they always call it code editor. I don't know why. Sorry, text editor. I don't know why. I'm actually in a code editor. But anyhow, sure, as far as you get the gist, you understand how they talk. I believe that is safe. You get how this safe. It matter. So font size will be 14 pixel. While the font weight will be 500. Then text decoration will be line through. So this line through go put that strike across the hide text. They get so pass it down, set down to 0.8, while our cursor will be pointer. So one thing about this line through, if you want to really go all out to make this look really good, you feel animate something else. Like it depends. If you use maybe a pseudo element like an after or a before, most likely an after, to create a line so that by the time you click or you want to toggle that time now, the line will just like strike across. When you click, it will strike back. Just do something like an animation there, you get. But we're not going into all those details right now. But I try to show you the possibilities of what if you just to make it look nice for your user, their eyes, you get. So Dana for the action. So the next thing we need to target now, we target this anchor tag here now, where they say having trouble signing in. So what we'll do here, we'll set display to block. And margin top to 28 pixel, margin bottom to 38 pixel, while our text decoration will be none, then text align to left, all right. We'll capitalize, so text transform, capitalize. Having trouble in signing. No. This thing, I'll cut a mat. we'll target the first letter. So first letter. So if we do capitalize or if we do upper case. So this particular style now they affect only the very first letter for that particular sentence. And so yeah, having trouble in signing. You know, I do if we just do by just changing this H now to capital letter here, but or you know, just part of the learning process. Maybe you know, okay, something like that to tackle and for you. Good. So I'll come down. I'll set my font size here to 16 pixel, and font weight will be 500. While the color will be dark 00. All right. So now for this button, they go end to end. So in this case, what we'll do now, we'll target this button here, then we'll set our width to 100%. All right. 100%, and it's looking good already. Yep. 100%. So now the next one we target here will be this optional tag. This optional tag. So just after our form, which is this. I break them down so that I'll be seeing well. So just after the form here now, we'll come down, we'll go type optional tag. Remember, it inherits the first part of the parent's name, which is form card. So with the easy ampersand. All right. So the optional tag now will set position to relative and width to max content, then display will be block. Display will be block, while margin will be auto. So we'll see margin auto. Then we'll set margin bottom to 34 pixel, and padding will be 0 pixel by top and bottom, while 24 pixel for the left and the right. The reason that they put this padding is because of these two stuff where these two things here now. So this space here is padding. Although I go use position, so I feel actually push them out, but anyhow, there are many ways to kill a rat. So it work like this. So we'll set the font size to 15 pixel, while the font weight will be 500. So if you notice, since I write this code here, I don't do a lot of repetition. Like, another the good thing about SCSS, I don't do a lot of repetition. If you look some of it, what I don't do, I always repeat these three things: font size, font weight, color. If you look somewhere here, font size, font weight, okay, font size, font weight, and I think some other places for the top, so I don't do something like that, font size, font weight. So then I will mixing say they good, because if you put up a mixing now, you just need to call them once and it go do the rest for you. You get, so you don't need to write a lot of SCSS code, because that's one of the major reasons why we use SCSS. So make sure say, okay, we'll get as less time writing our CSS than basically less time to write our CSS code, right? So we get lesser line of code for the SCSS, then everything will be compiled to the actual CSS files. But anyhow, I just want to break everything down since I want to make, I assume, see everybody here will be beginner, and mostly my content, I want to make it tailored for beginners. So even though say they advanced, some things could be advanced, I mean just say if you're beginner, you go understand them better, you get. But as time goes on, I go encourage you to do a lot of best practice and do these things the right way, because I may not always be this generous in some of my tutorials. It could be a bit more rigid with how I write all these things. But anyway, I shall more continue. Today not good today, so we'll not get stressed. So I'll come down, I'll target before and after pseudo element, because I need to use them to create this strike where it is placed here. So what I'll do, I'll target before, I'll put comma, then I'll target after, contents. Oh, did not take light. So content will set width to 18 pixel. Y will set the height to 2 pixel. Then background color will be dark 00. We'll set position to absolute and top 50%. The same thing to decentralize that thing. I need to copy. We'll just say transform, translate 0 minus 50%. All right, so we'll see. Okay, so the switch that happen here, we'll not get the slash, not the slash, sorry, the hyphen, or this dash line or the dash code, this dash line here. So we'll get this dash line here, and we need to make a day exactly like this. So we'll target the individual ones now. So here we'll just target before and after, because basically a lot of these things now it will affect both of them. So we'll target before. And we'll set left to 0. Then we'll target after. We'll set right to 0. All right, so you see that take shape. So the next thing we need to work on now, this button, we need to make sure say all of them appear like this, and to do that, just simple flex that go arrange yourself side by side. So now after this optional tag, we'll target social sign up. And social sign up. Yeah. So social sign up, I will set display to flex. Then gap between them will be 4 pixel, not 44 pixel. Y will set margin bottom to 34 pixel. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll target each button, then we'll reduce the font size. So set the font size to 14 pixel. Fresh. Semicolon. Okay. So we'll inspect this thing. So if you look the way this thing they be now, so you see, I say if you observe, you see, I say one the width now 142.78, while the other one 151.36, and this one 162.26. So we need to make sure say all of them get exactly the same width. So to do so, still targeting the same button, we'll put font size now. We'll just set flex to 1, and it will make sure say all of them now they collect exactly the same size. So if you even look this one now, if another thing they will visit to see this in the align to the left. So if you just align them to the center, flex item center, primary out. Let's see first. We justify content here to center. That should work. So you can make sure say the button they centralized. Alright, so we'll set flex 1 to this button. Then for the primary out for the up here, we'll justify content to center. So I'll take them somewhere here. Alright. So now we don't account for all these stuffs. So most times when you style some of all these things, you go miss a lot of things. But as time goes on, you just pick and they try to like, okay, make how they adjust this one to one like this. If you even look at this now, say this one they fatter a bit, like the height compared to this other thing. For you must say add padding, BTM primary. Okay. If we remove I'm gonna just put padding here first. So padding top and bottom will be 18 pixel, while left and right will still be 26 pixels, just to see the difference. I think I like this 18 pixel better. Okay, I like this one better. So I'll just carry this padding now. I'll go try for the form card BTN. So where are they now? Form card form.btn. So inside the form here. Okay. So paste them here. So again, we should use I to gauge all these things, because ideally, if we use any file, maybe from Figma or Sketch or something, we'll get all these dimensions. So we're going to work according to what the UI designer provide for us. If you say you want smart, pass your shadow, go do it to UI designer, not do anything where you see, take it like that. So just follow their direction. But follow their direction, not me say sometimes you're not going to call them to them and say, no, this thing, how you see them. So basically, it boils down to communication. Communicate with the person, where like say, design your stuff, then one or two come to agreement what works best. Because at the end of the day, when I try please clients and not to myself really. So anyhow, more carry on. So we'll not design these parts, we'll not style them. Now we need to do this. Wait till I type. Don't. I'm not typing this thing properly. So it's supposed to be. Remove them here. So don't have an account. Right? Don't have an account. And. Okay. After this form card, social sign up, we'll target create account. Then, oh no. Then inside this create account, let's see again. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, correct. So inside this create account, I will target the anchor tag inside here as well. So for inside the create account, we'll set the font size of 16 pixel. Then font weight of 500 pixel. And for the anchor tag, text transform will be capitalized, while the text decoration could be none to remove the underline as usual. So sometimes if you don't want to do all these things, if you create a very big website, you know, call the type of this every time, you get something like a boilerplate where like, okay, you don't get a global file where they handle some of all these basic things, so that not every time for every anchor tag you got the type text decoration to none at all times, you get. So take notes, but for now we'll just follow the process, assuming we'll be beginners, which I believe we are. So set font weight to 600 and we'll get this. So the same thing I'll do for somewhere here where I target the very first letter, I'll do the same thing here. So that will capitalize this D for here. So just after the anchor tag, I'll just place down. And you see I'm D already capitalized. So we don't mark up and style the whole form where they displays, right? Another one, the reason why would they use Max Suite here? I want to make sure, say by the time we do something like responsive, see I'm saying go the break down. The size not going to give us horizontal scroll, you get, because if I just make them as just width now, see I'm saying we get horizontal scroll, you get. So making it a Max Suite, make sure it's okay. The thing will go into the scroll down, but when you reach 600 pixels, you're not going to expand past, so you get. But those are basic things, so just something I need to point out because it just flashed my mind just now. All right, so now we'll tidy this one. What do we need to tidy next? And we need to tidy the footer, which is this copyright to WeWork 2022 privacy. So this one is quite easy. And I feel like leave them to on make on do as on assignments. Right? So with everything like I don't do for here now, I believe you will tidy this footer here and you will make it day exactly like this, right? So if you did my Discord server and you watch this tutorial, I would like see exactly, if you just post a screenshot, if you follow up, say you want work on this tutorial too, like you want just code them yourself too, I would like to see this footer for your screenshot because I need to paste them for the Discord server, for the general channel, make we know say yes, the game. You get. So I'll leave this one, I'll go mark up and I'll go style. And here we'll go end on now. So I'll leave the link to this particular designer for the description of this video. I will also leave the link. I will decide. Probably I will leave the link to these codes and everything for the description, or I could send to the Discord channel there or the Discord server then if you be part of the guys there, you get access to the codes here, right? So now you will end on you know the now like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also still let people know say if you want to learn things in a very calm way as a beginner and in a Nigerian way, and here they happen. So I'll see you now for the next video now. I mean, only have a big tank.